you get into this invisible field. Your clock radio is next to your bed, and this thing's going to show you, get that thing away from your head, because it's hitting 70 to 80 milligauss, which means that it's taking away your battery. Okay? So, if you've got different types of heavy metals in your body, then what do? You've got yourself a big problem, because every time you get into this field, every time, all these heavy metals and all these particles sing like an orchestra. They sing. The aluminum sings, the cadmium sings, the arsenic sings. And what does it sing? It sings a tune. It sings a discordant tune inside our body that's not supposed to have these types of heavy metals, plasticizers, and different things that have accumulated in all of us. And people say, how do I know I have them? Take your clothes off and see if you have the sickness. What do you mean? Take your clothes, if I'm a doctor, take your clothes off, not here, but at home yourself, and see if you have the sickness. And what is that? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Remember, there is 50 million people on Prozac, Zoloft, and Paxil in this country. Depression is toxicity. You don't feel good? Is it maybe because maybe you're poisoned, or maybe you're not eating the right things, or we're not eating the right things to actually be civilized in this world? Let's go to the next. Check this out. We're on the plane, Casey and I, going to the Big Island, doing an event over there at a retreat over on the Big Island just about a month ago. And you can see how this experiment, this guy went on a boat of junk across the Pacific and checked out this garbage patch, the size, 2 sizes the size of Texas. 2 sizes the size of Texas. This plastic will not go away. It's a huge 2 sizes the size of Texas. Remember, we've got plastic in the world. It's in our bodies too. The ocean is a part of what we are. And if the ocean's sick, then yes, we are too. You can see 1 piece of plankton to 50 pieces of PVC. That's an embarrassment.
Just a little bit too loud.
Okay. I'll talk a little lower, he said. So, you be quiet then. Next door. Tell the guy next door to slow down too. That's all right. Okay, so 1 piece of plankton for 50 pieces of polyvinyl chloride. That means every fish that eats, they took out different types of, you can call yourself like an autopsy of the fish, and find out what's in the fish. Plastic. You eat the flesh. What does the fish eat? Plankton. The plankton has mercury. Mercury's all from the coal plants. Mercury's from the volcanoes. Mercury's basically in our mouths. As we go to the bathroom every day, how many people in here have metal fillings or have had penetration from the dentist? Tell me when I got about 20 minutes left so I know. Tell me when I have about 20 minutes. Tell me when we have penetration, because we're going to do a little demonstration on this thing here that makes us be able to stretch and regenerate, because you have to unwind this stuff and be able to dissolve it, otherwise it's not coming off. Okay? And you know, you work at this every day, don't you? You're so super stretcher, and actually this is where a lot of people see people that are older doing this, because if you're 20, you're supposed to be able to do that. But we're not 20-year-olds. So remember, you got to be able to do this. Now you can see, look at the face on this thing. Remember, the body has 75,000 miles of hose in it. Here to Chicago is 3,000 miles. This machine has 75,000 miles of hose. And plasticizers, bisphenol A, has clogged us up. Check out the face on that thing. You got one of those too. Take your skin off and check it out. This machine is you. Remember, looking inside's pretty weird. Wait until you see what lives in our intestinal tract. Many different types of things that we really don't want to talk about, but don't try to kill parasites. Remember, all I can do is tell you that. You want a moraine called As This Sun's Doing to the Earth? We're being terrain modified at this time, aren't we? The sun is modifying the planets. I say the sun is the Christos, the Christ, that gives us light, and the 12 planets, of course, when we look at cosmic, are the 12 disciples. And the glowing head of the 12 disciples in my mind is when the sun, Christos, comes back, the return of Christos, this sun, S-U-N, of God, which of course when we look at the cosmos is the galactic center. The biggest ball in the galaxy is what runs the galaxy, isn't it so? Look at how small, go back one second, look at how small the Earth is compared to the sun. Remember, we're the 3rd planet from the sun, and we're going through this cycle called Solar Cycle 24. Look it up on Google. Solar Cycle 24. Why would you want to look that up? I would say it's very important. 300 days the sun has not had any sunspots, just to remember that. We don't see that don't hear that on CNN. One thing you can check out too is go to the internet and look up spaceweather.com every day and check out the Cosmo weather. It's called the cosmos because it's actually very important at this time. Next slide there. Heavy metals again, where are they? They're everywhere. They're in the cans. They're in the water supply. They're in our carpet. They're in our laundry detergent. They're in our soaps. They're in our lotions. They're everywhere. So if you want to clean up your life, then what do? You got to have a clean supply of food. And it better be wholesale too, because remember, that's part of this club. It's wholesale, direct. Just like if you're Whole Foods. We're actually the only club in the world that's wholesale. There are no other clubs at this time. We're a wholesale club because it's actually for us to be able to want you to be able to share with you what's happening to you. I'd like, people say, Robert, what did you eat to lose your 40 pounds of baggage? I started eating non-genetically modified foods, foods that didn't have plastic containers that were poisoning me, foods that basically were higher vibration, foods that last forever, like bananas that last 10 years, no preservatives. How come we can't let a banana to last on our table for a month? Because it has no minerals, and if we don't get any minerals, we got problems. It's called no regeneration, no minerals. Minerals are everything. Brain's a crystal, and it needs minerals. Tell me when I got the 20 minutes up. Okay. Heavy metals, basically, the reason why you're not going to kill the parasites, even though everybody's selling things to kill your worms, selling things to beat up your yeast mold and fungus, selling things to whoop ass on things that live inside you, that I would say you're making a grave mistake to try to whoop something that has more potential of whooping you than you of it. Wake up. Read the book Parasite Rex before you think you're going to start killing things. Because sooner or later you're going to go to the doctor, remember, and your doctor that you go see, make sure that he shows you his pedigree or her pedigree. I don't want to see their degree. I don't care if you're an MD, DC, acupuncture. Show me your degree. Take this machine, show me the body that you've cleaned this machine up. Show me, okay? Because I know that I can maybe listen to you because you've cleaned your act up. So remember, it's just sort of like a reasonable, logical thing to ask the question. Look and see, remember. Part of our problem is we got to actually see. What is a parasite? This is about an hour long right here on this page. I call these things, we are terrestrial beings. Terrestrial beings are beings that walk on the planet. These things are inside us. We call them intraterrestrial aliens. They're alien to our body, and of course, the ones outside our body, we call them extraterrestrial aliens, because we just don't know what they are. Guy jumping across the state of California, he's also an alien too, remember that, okay? It's just a word. Problem is these aliens, they're reptilian, okay? Go on earthshiftproject.com, and I'm holding a rattlesnake to show you that this rattlesnake is very poisonous. And I'm only showing you that if I cut, burn, or poison this thing, it's going to try to fight back. It's letting me hold it, this Southern Pacific rattlesnake that has 2 types of venom. I got to be bloody nuts to let anything actually get close to me that has no antidote. Really foolish. Okay? Then, okay, what do we got? 20 minutes. Okay, 2 seconds more. Now, these reptilian things, all you got to know is the snake needs the sun. And the sun, of course, is the Christ for the snake, the reptilian. These reptiles that live in our bodies, they use us as the sun. Okay, so don't try to kill them. You take out their house, the aluminum, the cadmium, the mercury, the lead, arsenic, thallium, stainless steel. We open up the lymph gland, not the blood, the lymph, 3 times bigger than the blood. How do you know your lymph gland's plugged? Take your clothes off. Body fat's a good way to see the truth. Body fat is yeast, mold, and fungus. And if you eat remember, if you came to me for a $500 consultation, what are you going to want? You're going to want to know what truth, basically, possibly you may want to look up. Don't believe us, okay? Look at the faces on these things. I was on Discover magazine. Do parasites rule the world? Okay, Discovered. Came on one time. No one's supposed to see this. The hookworm on the bottom is basically a very high-level toothed animal, and it drinks blood. And this thing that drinks blood basically makes us so we can't be live or be what you'd call very vibrant, healthy, and wealthy. So remember, Parasite Rex is the book. Look it up and see. Okay, like I said, this is a 2-hour presentation. This is the problem. We have we're going to switch gears. How do you get rid of the parasites out of your body? You clean up your act. Clean up your act. Clean up my act. Shower the chlorinator, chlorine gas. Get rid of it. food supply. If you know